One of the greatest heroes in Israel's history, Samson's story, is a reflection of miraculous divine interventions and superhuman strength. Samson's legendary power and his battles against the Philistines have been told for centuries. However, among these stories, the most striking and astonishing is undoubtedly the incident where Samson killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. The Philistines were greatly disturbed by Samson's strength and his influence over the Israelites. They prepared a large army to capture him and thus break Israel's resistance. When the Philistines arrived in Lehi, the Israelites were filled with great fear and anxiety. Their faith in Samson was unwavering, but they did not know how to face the massive Philistine army. The Israelites decided to bind Samson and hand him over to the Philistines. This was a way to test Samson's strength and avoid the wrath of the Philistines. Samson quietly allowed himself to be bound. His faith in God's power was complete, and he was confident that no matter what happened, God would protect him. Bound with 2 new ropes, Samson was led towards the Philistines. The Philistines shouted for joy when they saw him. They believed this was the moment of their victory and the breaking of Israel's resistance. However, at that moment, the Spirit of the Lord came powerfully upon Samson. His eyes blazed with fire, and he felt an immense strength in his muscles. The ropes melted away like charred flax and fell off his hands. Looking around, Samson saw a fresh jawbone of a donkey on the ground. This ordinary object, filled with God's power, would become a lethal weapon. Samson picked up the jawbone and advanced towards his enemies. The Philistines, in shock and fear, tried to retreat, but there was nowhere to run. Samson wielded the jawbone like a warrior's sword, striking down his foes. With every blow, an enemy fell to the ground. The jawbone, wielded by Samson, swept through the battlefield like a hurricane. As the intensity of the battle increased, so did Samson's strength. The Philistines fell one by one before him, their bodies piling up. The ground turned into a dark mud, mixed with blood and sweat. Samson moved like a force of nature, not merely a man. The Philistines quickly realized the futility of standing against him, but escape was impossible. Samson's power represented the might and justice of God. With every fall, the Philistines were filled with fear, feeling the cold breath of death on their necks. Each strike from Samson sent shockwaves of terror through his enemies. The jawbone pierced through their armor, shattered their shields, and broke their bones. The screams echoing on the battlefield revealed the ruthless face of death. Samson's movements were both graceful and deadly, like a dancer performing a lethal ballet, or a storm laying waste to everything in its path. The jawbone, with every swing, played a melody of death. The fear in the Philistines' eyes contrasted with the determination and faith blazing in Samson's. The battlefield became a stage, with every strike echoing the justice and power of God. Even when the Philistines raised their shields to protect themselves, they could not withstand Samson's might. Shields were shattered, armor was pierced. Samson swept through the battlefield like a storm, felling enemy after enemy with every step. Blood, earth, and sweat transformed the battlefield into a graveyard. Samson's power was a reflection of God's wrath. Each strike sent a Philistine to the ground. Each scream amplified the horror of the battle. The Philistine commanders watched in shock and fear as Samson's unstoppable power decimated their ranks. For them, this battle was not just a conflict, but the onset of a nightmare. Every attack Samson made with the jawbone changed the course of the battle. Thousands of Philistine soldiers began to fall before Samson one by one. The commanders issued orders, trying to pull their soldiers back. However, no strategy, no plan could withstand Samson's might. By the end of the battle, 1,000 corpses covered the battlefield. Still holding the donkey's jawbone, Samson declared his victory. With a donkey's jawbone, I have made heaps upon heaps. With a donkey's jawbone, I have killed 1,000 men. This victory led the place to be named Ramath Lehi, meaning Jawbone Hill. This event was not just a war story, but a symbol of God's power and justice. Samson's victory renewed the Israelites' faith in God and strengthened their resistance against the Philistines' oppression. Samson's miraculous victory was not merely a display of physical strength. This event demonstrated how God empowered Samson and granted him victory over his enemies. The Israelites' faith in God was renewed by Samson's victory, reinforcing their resistance against the Philistines' oppression. Samson's story reminds us of the importance of faith and trust in God's power. This event, etched into the annals of history like a shining star, is a miraculous testament to humanity. The tale of Samson killing 1,000 men with a donkey's jawbone is not just a war story, but a testament to the power of faith and divine intervention. This story will be told for generations as a symbol of God's might. Samson's strength and faith in God were manifested in this victory. This story is not just about a battle, but about faith, determination, and a miracle. For the Israelites, this victory was not just a military success, but a demonstration of God's grace towards them. The intensity and horror of the battle, combined with Samson's faith in God, have made this event an unforgettable chapter in human history. Samson's strength was not just physical, but a reflection of God's power. This victory will be recounted through generations as a testament to divine justice and might. Samson's story reminds us of the importance of faith and trust in God's power. This event, like a star shining through the dusty pages of history, is a miraculous testament to humanity. Thank you for joining us on this epic journey through the legendary story of Samson and his incredible feat of defeating 1,000 men with the jawbone of a donkey. We hope this tale has inspired and captivated you, showcasing the power of faith and divine intervention. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories from the Bible and insights into the history of our faith. We would love to hear your thoughts, so leave a comment below and let us know what you think about Samson's story or any other topics you'd like us to cover. Your engagement and support help us continue bringing these amazing stories to life. Thank you for watching, and God bless you. See you in the next video.